Record. Hey guys, this is the car flipping webinar that I promised y'all. I have my buddy Paul on the call. I add and delete a lot of people as I've grown my business and just trying to connect with good people. As I've grown, as I get interested in new topics within the flipping world, somehow those people get suggested to me. And so I'm assuming that's what happened with Paul here. And I don't even think we talked, Paul, but I just saw you every single day, just kind of like me, like every single day posting deals, crushing it, putting your numbers up. I don't even think you have a course yet or anything like that, but I always respect when I see somebody just like on the freaking game. And so, and the cool thing is I've gotten into car flipping recently and done a few, but my methods all seem to be very, very different from what you're doing. And so it's
Yeah,
cool to run into somebody that's like sort of accessing a market that I currently haven't even, not necessarily not thought about, but just have not even gone down that road. Um, as you'll find out if you, I don't know if you do phones, but if you change, just because you know cars or just because you know phones doesn't mean that you can just hop right into the next one. You can use some of the same principles, but it doesn't mean you're not going to be like super scared, just like you were when you started on the other niche. And so that has held me back from like saying, hey, I'm going to spend money on ads, or I'm going to go network with junkyards, or some of the things that maybe you do. And so anyway, with that said, good to have you, Paul.
yes, sir.
So
Thank you for letting me on here.
yeah, dude, man, I appreciate it. I really do. Um so tell me about like how you, first of all, how do you go about finding deals?
Well, my main way of advertising is Facebook, and my second way is Google. Those are pretty much my main
Facebook ads,
ways of
right?
to advertise.
Paid
Yes,
ads.
yes, paid ads, exactly. Yes,
So like we buy cars, and then you put like maybe like running, not running, junk, not junk, like sort of like a little blip about what type you buy.
exactly. Yeah. So on my ads, usually I put like we buy junk cars. You know, title with max payout, free tow. I give them like the perks, like, and then I give them the price, like $100 to $500 buyout. The vehicle must be complete. Call us now. That way, they can they could read the whole entire ad and they say, okay, well, this and this and this and this. So before they call me, they usually read the whole thing to see exactly what I require. I don't.
Yep.
I try not to put too much because I don't want to overload their brain with you know, they think, oh well, this part they might think the bumper's missing, so I don't want to give him money, or he might not buy it, or this and that.
Sure.
So I try to help him out, just give
Yep.
him like a little like insight of what I do require. But I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I also have him do like title, like title or no title is okay. Because there's other ways around with that without the title as well.
Cool. We can get into that later. That's a very interesting
So it's
part of it.
complex, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more complex. Okay, so you run an ad, and if I had to guess, the picture doesn't have to be like some sexy professional picture. It probably does well, more so when it's just like it looks kind of like a crappy ad. Is that how that works with your ads?
Yeah, usually I just blow out we buy junk cars cash, and then I just put a money thingy right there with like the money and like a pretty much a car that's getting towed away or
Right.
a junk car.
Yep.
And
Yep.
and I try to keep a car that's complete. I don't like to show cars that are like destroyed, broken down, because those ones aren't I'm not really after.
Yeah.
I'm after more of the excuse the background. I'm more after like the complete cars, or cars that are just like that are complete. Because you post cars that are like destroyed and stuff like that, they're gonna expect you like you're gonna buy something that's like just bare metal, and you
Then
don't
you
want
start
that. You
getting
want
like
to,
some pretty ratchet offerings, I'm assuming, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They
Cool.
want you to pick up like some scrap or something like that. So no, you don't want that. You want actual complete car itself to maximize your profit.
Sure. How much do you spend a day on ads? Or
For
how much
me
when you
personally,
started and versus now?
back then I spent like, well, I still keep the same. Well, no, honestly, when I started gaining the momentum, I spent about like let's say like, what is that on Google? I mean, on Facebook, I spent like maybe like $10 a day. I started out with $10 a day, pretty
Wow.
much. So I mean,
Okay. Just
that's
10
like three hundred
bucks.
dollars a month.
Sure.
Yeah,
And what's your, do you know what your cost per message is?
I think it was like my cost per were like $3.66, somewhere around there, like $3.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's not bad. And
I
what
know
would
it's
you
not higher than
say?
four.
You get like a 1 in 10 close rate, or 1 in 5? What would you say there?
Pretty much about like my close rate is like 75%. Mostly people call me. Most people that message me, I usually close it out because I don't want to make money on them.
75%? Wait, what? So you're
Yeah,
closing
like
like two
seventy five
deals a
percent.
day off of $10?
Well, that was back then. Yeah, back then people would call me, and then a lot of times organically too. Like when you put your business out there on Google organically, they just call you. They start calling you because you just put like cash for cars. I put cash for cars, cash for junk cars, 559. There's a lot of business. People always Google cash for cars. So I mean, I put 549 right there. That's my where I live at whatever. They will actually they'll put
559
type yeah they'll type
Fresno?
in the exact they'll type in the exact Google that search and it'll come up and my name will usually come up first. And recently I just built it on my own website and I did a lot of pretty much advertising. So it's pretty easy. I don't know why it's easy. It's easier. I've done carpet cleaning. I've done junk removal years ago. I've done I used to have a cell phone store over there in my area, and I think this business is the most easiest money maker that I could do. I mean, it's super. It's easy.
Okay. Okay. I think it's easy. If I had to guess, what I'm experiencing is it's easy because the pain threshold is a lot higher.
Yeah,
The phone or a carpet that needs to be clean. It's more like, it's something that doesn't have to be done. It's not like big and bulky and in their way like a car, or it's a cleaning. When cleaning is more like a positive than an. It's not like you're like solving a pain as much as like providing a pleasure,
exactly.
right? Which
It's
is
more like a luxury. It's more like if you want, you want to do it because it's something you like to do, not something you need to do.
yeah, upper class, man. We got you stuff shampoo.
Yeah.
All right. Man, that's cool. I noticed when with my second car, it was wrecked and not really drivable. And dude, it was a 2017 Corolla with 29,000 miles, and it needed 6 grand worth of work. And
Oh
I bought
wow.
2,500, but it like to that kid, it was a kid, 20 years old or whatever. He's just like, man, I just need some money from it. I didn't have insurance, and so it's a loss. I'm just trying to get what I can get. And he thought his problem was a lot bigger than it was. I mean, 6 grand is a lot. Like nobody has 6 grand. But he thought it was going to cost 15. And even one of my friends quoted me 12. And so I've noticed that there's like because there's a bigger pain threshold and the amount that you're giving them is more significant than again like a phone that that you can do well off people that think they have a bigger issue than they have. And so when you're buying these cars as junk, how many of these are you able to put back together and sell them as running?
Okay, that right there is a good question. I'm thinking about maybe like 2 out of 10.
Okay, so you're buying junk cars. All right, and so so walk me through this. So somebody calls, you say, "Yeah, I'll give you $200 for your piece of shit," and you have a trailer, right? You have your own. Do you have one of
Yeah,
those kinds, or you? How's that work?
I have a tilt bed, a power tilt, the one that just tilts up and down.
Got it. Up and down. You winch it, yank it up. Um, and those aren't cheap. Those are what, 18? How much you paid?
Well, that one's another story, but I got it from my cousin got it brand new for like 8, 9 thousand,
Oh,
and I ended up buying it off him because he tried to do the same business as me, but I tried to teach him. I tried to teach him, but he didn't want to really do it, so he was just like always busy, so he didn't really put too much in it. So he just said, "Hey, just give me 4,000 for it." I was like, "All
wow. Okay.
right."
Okay, so
So I got it.
so you get with them, you drive over there, you go get it, you do you run your own ads, you answer your phone, and you go get the car too, right? Yourself.
Yeah, a lot of time. Well, now I have a worker who does it sometimes with me, but normally I'm a lot like half time by myself.
Okay, and so I mean, is there a big inspection process for a junk car, or you just kind of like you pretty much know what you're getting? You're getting like a crappy car, and you're pretty sure you can turn it.
Well, for example, let's say like someone calls me for like a 2005 Corolla, let's just say Toyota Corolla, and my main thing is I ask them if they have the pink slip, the title. Well, I have a vendor account with the junkyard, so what they will do is they will give, you know, the junkyard normally give them like 300, 400 for it, whatever. But us as vendors, since we're connected with the junkyard, they'll give me like $600, $700 for it, 650, 700. So I'll still profit like,
Got it.
a few $100s on the car, and
Yeah.
that's how we pretty much make our money. So even with junk cars, I like them because I'm pretty much just towing. I'm just making money off towing cars to the junkyard.
Yeah, you're like a high-end tower, dude, and they like you, you're not like taking people's stuff that don't want you to take their stuff. Okay, so
Exactly. Yeah.
the yards are like you're like your direct buyer, right? So you already know
Exactly.
you
Yes.
pick that bad boy up. You're just bringing it from one location to another and getting three, four, $500 spread, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Do you need to answer a lead real quick?
No. There's my cousin kept calling right now. He's actually picking up a car, but I'm just I was just texting him on my other phone that way he can call me. I'll
Okay.
tell him I'll call him back. All right.
Yeah, yeah. Take a second.
Let me see. What was his number real quick? Because I didn't want to get off this
I understand.
981
Yeah, yeah.
48
I appreciate your time, man. Just take your time.
48.
If you have any questions as we go, just post them up in the chat.
Okay. But yeah, so so that's exactly what you said right now. You're making money pretty much towing cars to the junkyard. And that's exactly what I do. So I mean cars, even though some cars need like engine work or if something's more weight than it is than to fix it, if it's like too burdeny, I'll just take it to the junkyard and make my money. Like that Explorer you see me on my Facebook yesterday. It was 2014. It was the front end was all off. It was pretty much messed up. I bought it for 500 from a guy. I knew that I'd either, make money off it or I'll profit off it somehow, some way, or sell it to somebody out on the streets. Well, I ended up taking it to the junkyard, and they ended up giving me 700. I mean, excuse me, 1,200. So I ended up profiting $700 on it,
Got it.
and then I was still able to. I picked it up early in the morning, like at when I picked it up like at 10 a.m. And afterwards, I dropped it off, and I was still able to go spend the rest of my day with my kid, my daughter, doing whatever I wanted to do, knowing I still made $700, regardless of I didn't have to worry about anything. And who wouldn't want to make that much money in a day and just within a short amount of time and just go home and relax.
Bro, that's crazy. I mean, even in the phone world to pop off for 700 for a lot of people would take a long day of driving all over the place. Um
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and yeah, and I mean that 2014, I mean, God, they're gonna sell that engine for what, 2 grand? And so they're killing
yeah.
it. They could sell the catalytic converter for a little bit. Now, do you ever part out cars yourself or use parts from one for, like, do you ever see a common issue with something and say, wow, okay, this one I'm gonna keep this around. I'm gonna pull some parts
Oh
out
yeah,
and keep some of
yeah.
those.
Sometimes you pull out like the alternators on a lot of Fords. I don't know I need those. The other day I needed a module for an AC module for the climate control, excuse me, for a Honda Accord 2007. So
Yeah.
I'm starting to see cars that go like with common problems. So I'm starting to kick the little parts out of those real quick before I
Yeah.
take them. But sometimes it's just so busy, you don't have time. You got like another 3 or 4 more cars pick up throughout the day. You're like, well, I'll worry about that later. Then they bite you in the butt later on. But I mean, you're making money.
Well, I have a buddy that told me he buys them. He immediately has the catalytic converter removed, and then a lot of times then he takes it to the junkyard.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know if
That
that's
depends
like
on.
frowned upon for your area or your guys, like if they
Oh
want
no, we used to do that
better.
back then.
Okay.
Recently a while back. We used to do that back then. Not no more right now. The catalytic converter prices are down really bad. It depends on what city and state. It depends on what state you're in. I'm in California, so California right now still is high, and I work by volume. I can sit there and cut cats off, and then you got to find a buyer, then you got to find a shipping place, and then if they can be empty, and then the price can go up and down, and then you got to take off the
Yeah.
manifold cat, the cat on the manifold, all that different stuff. So I mean, you got to be like, and then sometimes the cats are in the rear, cats in the front. You gotta have like it's a pain. I've learned you can make good money with taking catalytic converters off, but then again, it's also a scary thing too because if you're not licensed or something like that, or if you don't have your own dismantle yard, you can get your stuff seized or you can get in trouble or whatever.
Okay.
And plus, it's just
Okay.
not it just you're breathing that stuff and it messes up your throat. And I don't know. I personally don't like doing it no more. But I mean,
Yeah.
I did. That's how I made my money last like a year ago. Oof, I made a killing off cars taking out the cats, but now
Yeah.
I just do it off volume. I make money off volume now.
Okay. No, so you pretty much cash out everything either same day or next day, right? You're moving them
Yeah,
pretty quick, right?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. I saw you did have a few that looked like they were running. Is that right? You sold one
Oh
for
yeah,
like,
I get a good amount that are running.
who do you sell them to, or how do you sell them when they are a running vehicle? Is that a Facebook Marketplace deal or?
Yeah, I have Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, but Craigslist is my number one. I don't know
What?
why people use Craigslist still. Craigslist people still use it out here.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't even thought. I just treat them like they don't exist. Got it. Okay. So
Yeah, no, people still
you
use
list them
Craigslist.
on all three of those, or just mainly you'll start with Craigslist and you'll kind of go from there if it's not selling.
Let me see. I sold my last car on Craigslist. I sold my last two vehicles off Craigslist, and then my other one on Facebook Marketplace. But I've learned Facebook Marketplace has a lot of pretty much bargainers or complainers and stuff like that. So
Really? Okay. How about that? Now tell me, how did you get these relationships with the tow yards? You just call them and say, "Hey, this is what I do," and
well,
and
there's
go in and
I
say,
used
"Hey,
to be a
start an account with you guys."
yeah, exactly. I used to be a dealer. I used to own a car dealership in my area down the street. And one day I got burned on like $12,000 worth of cars, and
Oh,
I scrapped them out. And that's how I learned about the catalytic converters. I was like, someone said, hey, they're worth money. They're probably worth more than the car. And I was like, oh wow. So that's how I started getting to
yep.
that part. When I started junking the cars, and I was like, what the heck? I get this much for this car? I bought it for I mean, they're giving me more than what I bought it for. That's weird. And that's how it started happening. But
Nice.
anyways, back to the story. You get an account with the junk. I met somebody doing towing, and he said get an account with the junkyard and take your cars over there. And I did that. And I made a good amount of cash, and I was like, wow, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna try to like do this. So I found out some people posting cars on OfferUp or Facebook, and they'll put like for them to post them for like $500. So what I did was I'll give you like 250 for it, knowing that the junkyard will probably give me like 500-600, and I'll make a few $100 off a car. And they said
Right.
yeah. So then from there it just started building momentum, and so I borrowed a trailer from a U-Haul, and that's how I started doing it. But I got cars that at least ran because U-Haul, they don't have winches on them. So I got cars that did run that I can jumpstart that are gonna blow up, but at least they get up there.
Gotcha. So you can wait, U-Haul. Okay, so you can rent something to tow the car from U-Haul. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
correct.
And what does that
Yeah.
run? Sort of like a hourly kind of deal plus mileage
Oh,
or
you can run it for like a day. Like I think they charge like 60 or $70 for a trailer for the day.
gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all.
Then if you just line them up, if you line up cars that do run that just have like problems, you can just go take them to the junkyard and make yourself like $900, $800, $900, and you'll be
Yeah,
straight.
totally. So you in a typical day, you think you're able to knock out what, two of these bad boys? Is about regular?
If you're using a U-Haul, yeah. But I mean, if you're the other day I did four. I usually knock out like 3 or 4 a day easily.
Damn, 3 or 4 a day.
The most I did by myself was like six. But
Wow.
I had my friend help me get a car from a guy. They had a blown head gasket and overheating. I had him driving it literally down the freeway with smoke coming out of the out of the hood. But we made it.
Nice.
So yeah, it's easy. It's easy money.
So you think this would be doable in just about any city? I mean, I guess if you can do it in California, I feel like you could do it anywhere.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. It's the only issue is I've noticed that I'm on certain groups, and some people will clown me for not taking off the caps, because certain areas do have certain not restrictions for catalytic converters. So I mean, I would just check with your local area and see exactly what's beneficial for you. Right now in our area, it still is all time high. So I mean, you make money off the cars easily, and it's not in and but they have to be complete, because our junkyard here, like if you take off the cats off of a car, they will only pay you like $300 for the car. They will not pay you more than like $300 to $400 for that car.
Gotcha.
So I mean, if you want that extra few $100, you got to leave the cats on there and just drop them off like that. So that's how I just make my money. I just leave them
Yeah.
on there, so I don't
Right.
worry about the headache. You don't want to take the cats off. You're gonna get a headache. You're gonna get you mess up your eyes, your respiratory, all that metal getting dirty on the floor. Just instead, just be a tow person. As my personal opinion is how I've been making money a day, is dropping them off. Just go by volume. Just go fast, and you're easy. You're done. Instead of taking the cats off and cutting your hands and cutting your.
Yeah.
I slit my wrist on a Kia Sedona. I almost went to the hospital. I slit my wrist on there. So
Wow.
You gotta be careful with
That's a
certain
good
cars.
lesson. That's a good lesson. A lot of people, in my industry, including myself, had to learn is stick to what stick to what your bread and butter is. If you can work out a situation where it makes sense to contract with somebody, that's the way to do it. At least for a long period of time. Meaning like maybe contracted driver, contracted repair guy, as opposed to thinking like, well, I'm going to bring all this in house, or I'm going to I'm going to get all the money. It's like, no, I'm going to get like a good chunk of it, and I'm going to leave some on the table for the next guy, which is what you're doing. That's what it sounds like to me.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's just more easier for me. I'll let him deal with it. I'll let them have the right equipment and the right tools to cut the cats off and make their own little money. Me, I just want to make my little 1,000 or 1,500 a day, and I'm happy with that.
Dude, that's amazing. 1,000 to 1,500 a day.
Yeah,
That's fan freaking tastic.
yeah, that's why I don't
You're
complain. I'm like,
spending
I
ten
can feed the
dollars a
cats.
day on. Are you currently spending $10 a day on ads?
Oh no, that was been the beginning. No, not no
Oh,
more. Me, I spend let me see, $50 on Google, or just recently, like last week, and I can't keep up with it now. I got to turn it down. $50 a day on Google, and then I spend $15 on Facebook.
15.
Yeah, so I only spend 15 on Facebook, and then 50 on Google, because Google is I get a lot of cars in there for free. People just call me like, today I got to pick up 2 cars for free today, and those ones I'll probably make I don't know, like $600 a piece. And I'm basically getting $600 for free.
Nice. Nice.
But it all goes down to my to to my I have a DMV office too, so I'm able to look up the history of the owner of the car itself, find the owner.
Okay.
There's ways around it.
Sure. So you're making sure you're not picking up someone else's car that's not theirs. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly, yeah, and it's not stolen.
Are you a are you currently like under a dealer's license? Are you working with an actual dealer's license to do this?
No, you just gotta have your, well, in California, all you need is your business license and a seller's permit, which is it's only like, it's for free online. You just get a reseller's permit and your business license, and you can get in the same day.
So when you're getting these titles, are you just not signing the title and then bringing it to the junkyard and they assume the title from there? Is that how that works?
Oh, we usually have the customer sign the title prior to us bringing it over, and then once we give them the title, they give us their own little bill of sale. You just sign it real quick, and then that way you don't have to touch the title. They do all the paperwork for you.
Got it. So you're not signing the title. The customer is, yeah, they're signing the seller's side. You're not signing the buyer's side. Okay. Okay. So you're sort
Yeah,
of circumventing the whole rule of, only being able to resell a certain amount, because you're really not like you're scrapping them, you're not, it's not like you're not even reselling them in a way. I mean, it's technicality, I suppose, but you're not like taking them out and then reselling to a customer. You're more just selling
exactly.
to the
Yeah,
junk.
you don't need a dealer's permit or nothing like that. Yeah, you can anybody can do it. It just
Got
depends
it.
on if you have your license. Just your business license is like $15 in California.
Got it. Okay, so tell me, okay, so let's go back to the title thing. At the beginning, you said something about titles and you said it's more complicated. Yeah, what do you do when there's no title? What does that look like?
Well, with no title, what we do is we make sure we find the last registered owner online. Well, I have my DV service, so I'm able to do that. Certain people, they can contact. They can usually, what you usually do is you find the registration, or if somebody has a registration, you're able to trace the last owner, and
Okay.
then normally you have the customer sign off that's for the owner, and then pretty much it. As long as they make sure that they're the owner,
So you
so I can
find
say
the
that.
last owner and you call them, make sure it's cool.
Sure, yeah, you can say that.
Okay, okay, okay. All right, all
I
right.
can't say anything
I-
else from here, but
No, I got you.
because
I got you.
it's all technicality, because the
Yeah.
person the person sold it to, like, let's say like you buy a car from John Doe or whatever, and then all of a sudden John Doe never did the paperwork for Jose Rodriguez. Well, Jose Rodriguez sold it to John Doe, and then John Doe sells it to you, but John Doe never put it in his name.
I
He
see.
just drove the car. He never, because the car didn't pass smog or whatever. In California, you can't
Right.
legally register a car until it passed smog. So anyway, so now it's still under Jose's name, but John sold it to you. So now you're stuck trying to find out, hey, where's John?
I got you. That makes
Where's
sense.
Where's Jose? Whatever. I don't know who that is.
Right.
John is the one that sold it to me. Well, the reason like, well, sorry, since you don't know who he is, we can't register the car to you. But I have my there's always ways around it that they people help you find out the last owner so you can junk the car because a lot of times it's just getting the owner's information. That's all it is. Like not their information, but like the first and last name. That's it. You're pretty much good to go.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, tell me like I'm interested in like your biggest loss. Like you said you lost 12 grand, but in this business, let's keep it relevant to this business. So like with your scrapping business, have you had any losses or what's like a bad deal, a deal going wrong for you?
Buying a stolen car. That's only. I mean, there's I can't say there's anything bad in this business. I mean, honestly, like I've considered it bad in other ways, but the only thing is buying a stolen car when I first started, like my first year. Somebody sold me a stolen car because I only had the registration, and I did not call it in to PD, and because he had the paperwork, and I thought it was legit. Well, I ended up just calling it in. Sure enough, it was stolen, and
Right.
PD had to come, and I lost like $200, I think.
Okay.
That was it. And
What are you doing this
one
for?
time, one time someone stole. I had a bunch of catalytic converters in my garage,
There's a
and someone
basket
stole
down
like
there.
three
Might as well
thousand
go
dollars
wash.
worth.
There's a basket down there by the washing machine.
Hang on, somebody's talking up in here. Sorry about that.
Hold on. Oh, no, you're good. But yeah, no, that's my biggest loss is when someone broke in my garage, stole my cats. I had like $3,000 worth of catalytic converters in there. So I mean, that's really,
Yeah.
I didn't really, yeah, that's like profit I lost. But I mean, you don't really lose in this business. There's not really, unless your truck breaks down, or your. But I mean,
It breaks down, blow a tire or something like that, and and the car flies.
yeah.
But you're
Other
buying
than
it
that, you
so
already
cheap.
know.
This is crazy.
Yeah, but other than that, you already know you're gonna win. I mean, there's no there's nothing. It's so simple. There's not. It's not like when you're cleaning carpets or you're well, I don't want to say other businesses, but I mean, my personal experience cleaning carpets, you got to go in a house. You don't know how bad the house is. You ask them to send you pictures. It's too much. It's too much of a headache for them to send you pictures, and for you to dictate like whether the job's gonna be hard or not. And you're capped on your pay. So I mean, it's kind of different. You're not
Yeah.
gonna make that much. But for the cars, you already know what you're gonna make with the car before you even get there. You already know it's gonna be complete.
How do you know
So I mean,
that? How do you know that? How do you know what you're going to make on the back end?
because I ask them to send me a picture usually, or pretty much I already have the knowledge of what the car's worth, what the junk car's gonna give me.
But how? Okay, you know that based on experience, but like, how would someone else know that? Like, is there some baseline assumptions they can make? Like a regular type car equals 600, SUV equals 800. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
exactly right. Yeah, the
Like
normal
that.
type cars like 650 to 700. Sometimes they're like eight, and then SUV is anywhere from SUV and truck is anywhere from 800 to $900.
Got it.
Or
Got it.
a van like an E Ecoline is like $900. So
Ooh,
if someone gives me an Ecoline, excuse me, like an E250, E150, or even an E3, I give them like $300 to $400 for it, and the junker will give me like $900. So I'll probably like $500 to $600 on that car.
and people know what time it is, right? Recently, I had a car that I thought had a blown engine. It turned out it was just misfiring, so I was able to get more for it. But I was expecting to get, you know, 300-400 bucks. That's just maybe, best case. And I was ready to do that. I was sick of it. I didn't want to deal with having to rebuild an engine. I've done that for my own personal flip, but not for a personal car. Personal cars, I have way less tolerance. I just want it gone. And so,
Yeah.
so people don't, you quote them 300-400. I'm assuming, am I right? Most people just say, okay, come on. Make you the
Yep.
first
Yeah, they
person to
don't
talk
care.
to. Sounds fair. Let's go. Sick of
Yeah,
this.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Or their car broke down somewhere, or their car is broken down like on the side or the street and all that.
Yeah. Let's see. We got a question here. Do dealers or do the yards provide you with the amount they'll pay for various makes and models? So like I guess they don't necessarily, but with that 2014, you probably thought, okay, I'm gonna get more for this one.
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
Do you ask for more or do they just give you more?
they usually give you your price. So I mean, they usually give you more for certain cars. So I mean, newer models usually get more money for it because those cars usually somebody will look for it and will gut it, take all the parts off and they'll profit off of it. The junkyard will usually profit off of a lot of it.
Yeah, I would imagine that the junkyards, they already know. They're like, oh, I already got, Bob over here. He asked me to let him know when I get a Explorer engine between this and this year. So boom, I already know.
Exactly, yeah. And that engine was good in that car too. Yeah,
The engine was good.
this transmission had a hole in it. It was shot out.
Got it. Got it. God, I don't even know what other questions to ask as far as that goes. So you run an ad, you talk to these people, you give them a quote, you know about what you're going to get on the other end. You've already made a relationship with a certain junkyard, and you go pick it up and just bring it straight there. I mean, do they pay you same day, cash, check? How does that work?
Oh, there's two junkyards here in my town. One pays you cash, one pays you check. So the one that I usually go to the one that pays me cash, and they're really great people. They always hook me up, and they go above and beyond for me all the time. So, and then the other one I go to today, the other one I'm usually go to is open Monday through Friday. The other one I go to is open Monday through Sunday, pretty much every day. And they give you check though, so you have to wait like the next day for your check to go through the mail. I mean, through the not the mail, through your bank account.
Dude, this sounds so easy that I don't want to do it because I know it's going to work.
Oh yeah, it's easy, man. I mean,
I'm busy. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be like a full-time freaking car flipper tomorrow. And I don't have a limited budget for ads. I have people that help me with stuff if I need it. And I'm happy to pay good money for people like go and do all the stuff I don't want to do, which is basically everything. And so it'd be like I'd have somebody running my ads tomorrow. I'd have them answering the questions. I'd have a runner, or I'd pay my buddy's got a tow company. I got two buddies with tow companies, so I'd pay one of them. Just hey, give me a good deal on tows, like half of whatever you charge your normal customers. I need you to bring it from here to here. That's it, every day, and line those types of situations up, and I would be flipping the shit out of these cars. I'm in the process though. I'm in the process of partnering up with a guy to get a dealer's location to do mainly fix and flips or fix and flips. And so tell me, what do you think about like, getting stuff that maybe have mechanical or physical issues and then buying those bad boys, fixing them up a little bit and then selling them to, I also have a friend that runs three dealerships in town. And so, by the way, guys, these connections happen fast. I mean, I'm on my second flip. Yeah, I looked out on the guy with the dealerships, got three of them, but the other two, I just kind of, I asked my tire guy who puts engines in. He referred me to a guy that did well, and then I had my nephew hit one of my cars with a golf cart a couple years back, and the body guy did a really good job, so I'm using him. So these connections happen super fast. You build your team real quick. But do you not have any desire to do that type of business anymore, or you just see this as like too easy to mess with that kind of crap?
well, like selling cars, like dealership.
Well, not having a dealership, I'm more just wholesaling. That my ideal is like get a car similar to you, get it roadworthy or whatever needs to get done, and bring it straight to a dealership, get my quote, sell it, and move on.
Um, I mean, you can do that, but I mean, it depends on if you have money and you can afford to wait and sit on it. Me, I mean, I have money, I could sit on it, but at the same time, I'm not satisfied yet. I rather I want to get at least two tow trucks running, and make as much like maximize as much as I can, and then buy a house, and then I'll be able to you know profit off like fixing up cars and waiting. But then, like you said, you have everybody that has that. I don't have that I do have those connections, but a lot of my people that I know that are good like that are sold up. You have to wait and all that stuff. Me, I don't like to wait. I rather just get I know if I can make like $1,500 sitting on a car for like a few days, or make 500, I'd rather make 500 because that's another headache out of my way.
No, I see what you're saying. To be fair, guys, I bought that car. I'll probably make like $6,000 on it, but I'm a month into that one freaking deal, and so I wouldn't want to. I hadn't bought any other ones because I'm like, well, let me wait till this one's done. I'm still kind of new at
Yeah,
it,
exactly. Yeah.
so I don't want to tie up. I don't want to tie up all my capital, and I don't even know what could go wrong yet. I'm on number two here, so um, are
Yeah,
there
I've been there before. I
are
don't
there
want
some
that happen to me ever.
Yeah, yeah. Now, what is so I asked you what your worst deal was, but what's been your best deal? Any like sleeper deals that went hard?
Um, I think my best deal was, well, the other day I got a BMW X5 for like 800 bucks.
Saw that.
The lady said that it was a catalytic converter or something like that, or some code was up, like the O2 sensor. So what I did was I ended up just resetting the codes. And I drove them to see if I could set the monitors. So sometimes cars will just pop up if they messed up, whatever. I don't know what she did wrong, whatever. But I mean, I didn't even touch it. I just reset the monitors. I drove it. I set the monitors on. I got it to pass smog, and I sold it for what was it 35? So
Mm.
I made about like shoot like $2,400 profit, or 27 something like that. I forgot, but I made
27.
like a good amount of money. Yeah, and I sold it the next day. So like, oh, okay, whatever. The guy didn't question me. He didn't want to drive it. No, he's like, here, I want the car. I was like, all
You just
right.
priced it to move. Yeah, you priced it to move so you can get it going, huh?
Yeah, and it was so clean. So that's probably what it's made it sell too. So that one, and then I had another car I bought for like $400, sold for 3,000. It was an F-150 recently. It just needed an alternator and I think like two spark plugs, and it was easy money.
Easy
So you
money.
get those deals where like you can, you get a pretty much some cars, and I got some cars for free too. I'll get like cars for free. They'll get like $800 on them. Make profit like 800 on them, 700, and
Okay, and you're
people
saying
just don't want them
Google
there
ads lead to a lot of free cars, and why is that? I don't understand.
because a lot of people they don't know what to do with the cars, and they're moving out, or they get like they're living in an apartment. A lot of companies now are more strict. Landlords are more strict, so they don't want to. People are calling the city, so a lot of times whenever the cars there have expired tags on them, they don't want to pull. The car can't move, so they're like, well, you know what? What do I do with this? I might as well try to get some, give it away or get some money on it. So a lot of times
Okay.
they give it away because they know that it's more of a headache, and they think that you're, like you said earlier, they think it's a headache, but to you, a headache to them is money to you.
Well, I mean, are they calling you and outing themselves, like saying, like, "Hey, I got a car, come get it. I don't even want anything for it," because I know you're not giving them a quote of $0. Like, are they
Yeah,
just
no,
okay,
they will just
forthcoming
give you
with the
money.
fact that they just want it gone? They think they're gonna have to pay to get it gone. Is that probably what it is?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious if you were charging like a towing fee and then just taking it and then selling it. Have you ever done that? Have you ever
Exactly.
been charged for junk removal?
Yeah, shells. I charge 175 to pick up shells. I won't because shells are nothing. They're just bare metal.
Oh, okay. Okay. So if there's just it's just like been stripped or something and then they're
Yeah,
just not
exactly. So
something.
you charge you got to make sure you charge accordingly, because I can take that to this other scrap yard I know, and they'll give me like like 80, 90 bucks for it. But I mean, you're not really making much. So I try to at least profit like 250 every tow I get. No, I mean, every time I go anywhere to pick up anything, I try to make sure I profit 250. That way, at least if I pick up, if I guarantee myself 3 cars a day, I know I'm making at least 750. At least if I'm, doing slow or whatever.
Got it. Got it. Man, that's wild, dude. This is
And they
this is
pay.
this is crazy. They what? They
And this
pay?
is only, yeah, and this is only with one car trailer. Mind you, I got a tow truck, and the transmission's being rebuilt. It should be ready by tomorrow or the next day. And when I get that going, I'm able to pick up 2 cars at once, and that's where I'm gonna just blow up. It's gonna be over. Right now, I'm only able to pick up 1 car every time, and I'm still making that money. So I know if I pick up two a day, two a time, it's easy.
And you're gonna pay a friend like sort of off the books, or how would you structure that?
Well, I pretty much pay my driver the same way I'm paying him now. It's just that he's picking up two rather than one.
Okay. So do you pay them well, or like how do you do that?
Yeah, I mean, if he hits 1,000, I pay him like $200 a day.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but I told him he has to make sure he hits 1,000 at least a day for me. That way, if I pay him salary, he's not gonna want to be like, he's gonna drive slow to go pick up a car, stop at the store, get something to eat, or he'll be lazy. So you don't want him to be lazy. You want him to, make sure they know in their head they got to earn that money and work hard.
Yeah, a lot of people they say they have trouble finding help, and I never have because I always pay a lot. And so, and then I pay people that I trust and or that I know or I know through someone. So there's like social ties. That might not be a way to scale like massively as far as like labor goes. Um, but yeah, I'll pay them way above what they would normally get paid somewhere else. And so that way I can they act as if they're more of a contractor or a business owner. Assuming that was how they were going to act anyway, but they're just incentivized to like take matters in their own hands and make higher level decisions and hustle and get it done quickly and ask like when can I go get more as opposed to like trying to get off early. Um, so that sounds like that's sort of how you roll as well. And
Oh
so
yeah.
from that perspective, it's easy to find good people because they're like, hell yeah, I want to make $200 to leisurely drive around town and grab a few cars and drop them off somewhere, and that's it. I mean, no brainer, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, it's simple. And that's why I keep that pay. That way they can just work harder and they'll stay at it and you don't gotta worry about it.
So if you have, okay, so if you have one driver but two cars, how does that equal? Like how do you? Would the guy just hurry up
Um,
and get one and just leave it there, and then hurry up and go get the other one with the other truck, and then
right
deal
now I
with
only have one
it off
truck.
later or something?
Yeah, right now I only have one truck and trailer, so you can only pick up one car at a time and take it to the junkyard, like one car at a time. So if there's two cars there, if one does run, one of us will. I'll ask one of my friends, "Hey, you mind coming with me to pick up a car to drive it, or I'll drive it and drive my truck." And that's how we do it. But if the cars both don't start or both don't run, unfortunately, we have to pick up both at one at a time, and that's what sucks, and that's what takes up a lot of time. But when I get my actual tow truck that has like the flatbed and then the boom on the bottom where you can pick up two at once, then you can capitalize on that and go one to one address, pick it up, and you cut your time in half rather than going back and forth twice, and then you have other people waiting for you.
Yeah, there's levels. I mean, you could. I'm assuming at some point you could get a literal like you get a tractor, tractor trailer, and get eight of them. Have all of the little zigzags and just crush it like that. I mean, that might be a little excessive, but it sounds like equipment wise, you can scale that up too as well, right?
Oh, you can, yeah. If you want to do, if you decide to do like a hot shotting like that, like a hot shot trailer, like those ones that have all the cars like there. But then again,
It'd be hard to get around town, probably.
not only that, but how you gonna some cars that don't run, how you gonna bring them down like that? You have to go up there and push them off, and then you
Yeah.
kind of like stressing with the tow truck, an actual tow truck. You have the one in the back. You just have two wheels picking up. You just drop that one down, then go up, and then drop the flatbed down, and then you're done.
What is the bare minimum for someone wanting to get into this business? What's the bare minimum as far as the towing aspect of things? So the truck, you probably don't need something massive. You don't need some like 350 series, right? You just need like F-150 type and then a
You
trailer.
could, I mean, you can get an F-150 if you want. I don't recommend it, but if you want it, I did it. I went with the Dodge 1500. And actually, my Dodge just went out yesterday, as we speak. It went out yesterday afternoon. It broke down on me finally. My motor gave out. That thing I think I towed at least like no, like at least like 1,000 to like 1,500 cars within a year and a half.
Wow.
So yeah, that truck has been through hell and back, and it lasted this long. And on the way, my friend took it to LA or San Bernardino. It's like 4.5 hours away from me, and you had to go to like roads and all that stuff. And but I mean, you can start with anything. You can even start just with a regular SUV and a car trailer, or even like a dolly, car dolly.
Okay.
Or if you don't want to, just go online and find cars that are like this, that'll still run and they'll make it to the junkyard. You can even start like that. Just go online and advertise, and then fish out which cars you want to get that do run, and that'll make you to the junkyard. And cars that don't run, just try to maybe sub those out to some other junk guy and make some money off him. That way, we can at least still make money.
Nice. Yep. Well, man, I mean, if it's up to me, that covers it. You've covered, how to buy it, how to sell it, how you get deals, how you price them. I mean, that's all the stuff. That's all the stuff that you don't know going into something that keep you from doing it in the first place. And so I'd say probably the hardest part of this business would be like if you don't currently have a truck, don't currently have a trailer of any sort, um, your upfront costs would be pretty substantial. But even then, you can rent stuff, right? You can rent like a U-Haul with the car dolly on it. I'm assuming, right? Was that what you were saying for
Yeah,
like $5?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just rent that or advertise on Facebook groups for free, and wherever you can get yourself out there, and then once you get a call, then you can rent it out and invest in it. But you can line up a few and then just do it like that. That's
Um,
what I would do.
yeah. Yeah, somebody asked about ads. Yeah, ads is just simply like we buy cars and then maybe like a few blips about what you're looking for, doesn't have to run. And maybe, maybe when we get done with this, I'll get you to send me a picture of one if you don't mind. But it's just like phones, we say I buy phones and then you put like cracked 11, maybe let's say 11 and newer.
Yeah,
New,
exact same thing. Yeah.
new used, yeah. And so just little blips about like what you're looking for, and then put a picture of a car, of a decent looking car, not one that's completely wrecked, because you want to attract the right type of people.
Exactly.
Nice, dude. Well, look,
You don't have to pick up those hard cars.
all right. I'm putting your link here. And how do you say your last name? Granados?
Oh, Granados.
Granados.
Yeah.
Okay. Granados.
I can
So
give you my
Granados.
YouTube page later. That way you can, people. I haven't went on it for like maybe like maybe like a month or two, but I haven't posted a video on there. But I have some good videos on there. People always look at.
Do you do any sort of consulting? Like, yeah, do you do any sort of consulting? I can send people your way.
Yeah, I have a few guys who hit me up, and I help them I help them with their business. I have a few guys that help me out.
Okay. Okay. Sweet, man. Well, I
Yeah, my
will
company's
post
Senko's Towing, so
send me a link to your YouTube channel when we get done, and then I'll put your FB page as well, and then you can take it from there. If you decide you want to, do paid consultations, that'll be all you, and you enjoy that. But I'm gonna put this on my YouTube channel, get a lot more views once it's up there, and so hopefully that'll, if you want it to, that'll lead to something on that side of things as well.
oh, for sure, most definitely, yeah. And before I go, whatever. I know some people are adding me on Facebook right now, but just ignore my what is it called? My kid post. I post a lot of sometimes little childish things, so forgive me in advance. Ignore those things.
Hey man, not everybody is gonna like the flavor you're stepping in, so it is what it is. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up, and I appreciate it, man. Thank you, dude.